नमस्कार दोस्तों, आप सभी का लाइव स्वागत करते हैं हम क्रिकटॉक्स के इस लाइव एपिसोड में। आज ऑस्ट्रेलिया वुमेन वर्सेस न्यूजीलैंड वुमेन के बीच में फर्स्ट T20 मैच खेला जाएगा। और यहाँ पे हम बता देना चाहते हैं आपको कि प्रैक्टिस मैच में देखिए किस तरह की प्रैक्टिस हुई है। यहाँ ऑस्ट्रेलियन वुमेन्स के द्वारा एक प्रैक्टिस मैच खेली गई थी। उसमें बहुत ही अच्छा प्रदर्शन किया था। एलेक्सा पेरी पे सभी की नज़र होगी कि अच्छी बल्लेबाज और गेंदबाज ऑलराउंडर के रूप में खेल रहे हैं। सभी की निगाहें उनकी तरफ। और वहीं बात की जाए जितनी अच्छी प्रैक्टिस मैच हुई थी, उससे ऐसा लग रहा है कि यहाँ एक अच्छी मैच देखने मिलेगी दोनों ही टीम के बीच में। वहीं हम देख लेते हैं दूसरी प्रैक्टिस मैच के ही आप विजुअल्स देख रहे हैं कि एलेक्सा हैरी किस तरह से बल्लेबाजी करने की, रिवर्स शॉट करने की प्रैक्टिस कर रही थी। वहीं हम आपको बात करते हैं एक और प्रैक्टिस सीजन की बात कर लेते हैं, जहां पेरी ने जिस तरह से बल्लेबाजी की थी उसकी बात एक बार
Superstar all-rounder Elise Perry cut a lonely figure at Redlands in Brisbane today, strengthening her still recovering hamstring as her teammates enjoyed a lengthy centre wicket session. Perry was cruelly ruled out of Australia's landmark T20 World Cup triumph in
एक इंजरी के बाद वो वापस आ गई है, तो सभी को निकाल एक प्रैक्टिस में तो बहुत शानदार प्रदर्शन हुआ है दोनों टीम के द्वारा। प्रैक्टिस मैच में एलेक्सा पेरी ने बहुत ही आक्रामक शॉट जरूर लगाए हैं। देखना होगा कि क्या उसी प्रकार की फॉर्म को अपने साथ लेके वापस आ पाते हैं या नहीं। यहाँ पे आप वार्म अप मैच देख सकते हैं। मॉनी और मॉलिक स्टार के बीच में वार्म अप मैच किया गया था ऑस्ट्रेलिया के बीच में, और वहीं अच्छा प्रदर्शन हुआ था दोनों टीम के द्वारा और विन किया था ऑस्ट्रेलियन टीम ने उस वार्म अप मैच में।
Australia opted to bat in their one and only practice match before the series proper. Rachel Haynes picking up where she left off 6 months ago. The same couldn't be said for Elisa Healy and Meg Lanning. Carbon copy balls to rid them both. Haynes found an ally in Beth Mooney and then Sophie Molyneux, each of the trio reaching 50. And while Australia's star all-rounder was put through her paces on an adjacent field, the perilous middle order were ruthless, boosting Australia to 8 for 247 after 40 overs. Belinda Vakarewa's inclusion in the squad paid dividends, 2 early scalps for the Quick. But that just allowed the old guard of Sophie Devine and Amy Satterthwaite to control the middle overs. 48 to Satterthwaite and a blistering 89 to Devine. Desperate for a breakthrough, Molyneux came up trumps. The first of her 5, just what the Aussies needed, as the Kiwis' gallant effort left them 12 runs shy of victory. Some last-minute super over practice finishing the day. This time, the Kiwis triumphing.
काफी अच्छी विनिंग साबित हो सकते हैं। तो श्रृंखला का काफी डाउट मैच है।
नमस्कार दोस्तों, आप सभी का फिर से एक बार स्वागत है ऑस्ट्रेलिया वर्सेस न्यूजीलैंड के वुमेन मैच के फर्स्ट T20 इनकाउंटर में। यहाँ एक अच्छी मैच देखने को मिल सकती है हमें ऑस्ट्रेलिया वर्सेस न्यूजीलैंड के इस इनकाउंटर में। तुषार भाई, आपका बिल्कुल एक बार स्वागत है फिर से एक बार।
being a 360 player, which she is, but her game mouse in a sense, and what I like to say about players like her is she checks her ego. So she could be absolutely flying, but all of a sudden the game just needs one or two balls and a shift in pace and gear change. She's happy to do that for the team, and I think that's where you get the consistency from her.
And going on from that, Jonesy, I know early on in her career there was always Moody's corner, which was down to sort of a third man, if you so to call, which is where she's played this shot here. But she's playing a lot straighter these days, and then it allows her to bring him, down behind her.
The last three series have been ridiculous for Sri Lanka. Average 77, strike rate at 152. The Tri-Nation series, this is outside WBBL, of course. The Tri-Nation series average 52 at 123. That was England and India. And then the World Cup 64.7 and a strike rate of 125.
It helps having one Healy in the other end too, doesn't it?
Oh, again.
With the Healy partnership as well with Beth Mooney, she's got a strike rate of 126.6 as said from 2017 on. And then you look at Healy's strike rate of 148.9, so it allows Beth Mooney to just come in and play her role, so to speak, and allow her to find her feet. When you've got someone going at 148 at the other end, I mean, what a partnership to be a part of.
So we're hoping to get out of this one. Opening over. That's nice carry through. So the first over on the board, 3 runs.
I browsed 8 sites for divorce attorneys today.
I browsed 8 sites for divorce attorneys. And it hit on Sony 10-3.
And the new ball from the other end.
See how she goes too. She needs to work with you. When she holds her shape well, in terms of application and delivery, but in terms of strength, she can actually get the ball to zip through here. So I'm wrapped that they've got a slip and play for her.
It's a good aggressive start. Good enough to nudge it down there. We mentioned that it's a significant milestone for Amy Satterthwaite in terms of the numbers of games played, but we're just delighted that she's back playing. And what a couple of years you've had, Amy. Terrific to see you back out here. Welcome back to international cricket.
Yeah, it's a nice day to be back here, to be honest. We couldn't ask for much more with the blue sky and nice warm weather, and just stoked to be back out and like a bit of a kid at Christmas, to be honest.
She's wanted that shorty wicket.
And it's Mel, did you have a choice of where you're fielding, or, Katie Martin, she'll just be talking all day long, won't she?
I feel like it's a bit of a slip, so I didn't do too much running, but I've been standing next to Mary and giving me entry off, haven't I?
Talk us through the 100 games. It's a magnificent milestone. Susie Bates is the only one that's got there before you.
Mooney long straight away. She's gone. She holds out. The catch has been taken by Green. We'll get back to Amy Satterthwaite. What a huge yell for the New Zealanders.
Well, interesting shot from Beth Mooney there, to be honest. She'd been plodding along really nicely, choosing her ball to take down to third, and the first time she's looked to go up and over, and unfortunately for the Australians, the number one ICC T20 ranked batter has to go for only 2 of 4.
Whether they are from India or abroad, they all will sip masala chai with Har Rajama. And learn from follies of the tennis legends and hear them.
Oh, so she still had a lot more time, but I feel like at the start of the summer, you think you've got less time than what you actually do have.
Take the stump straight away.
There'll be a lot of talk for New Zealand about how to bowl to Meg Lanning, and they'll love it for the fact, number one, Leah Tahuhu's on, and Meg Lanning's in early, because there's a nice little match up there. But I think Rosemary there as well will be targeting those stumps. The interesting one for me for Mooney is that she's so good along the ground finding the gap of the power play.
That's the if you were setting a game plan against Lanning early, it would be middle and off, wouldn't it? She has got a tendency occasionally to play across her front pad early in her innings before she gets into that rhythm of hers.
Yeah, I would probably say number one, I'd be going for top of off, top of fourth. I'd be looking for bowling that top of off stuff, or a little caught behind. We know that she likes to glide it down to third.
It's a good start for the Kiwis here. This is a really, really good start. But for a couple of the slip down left side, it's been disciplined stuff early from Tahuhu and Bear.
Just going back to the Ben Mooney thing, I also can't help but think that perhaps the Australians have talked about attacking the other bowlers, obviously respecting Tahuhu. She's their number one pace bowler for the New Zealanders, so looking to perhaps attack at the other end. But again, I just think that probably you could be doing that from the fourth over onwards.
You never so much. Successful over 1 for 7.
एजुकेशन लोन और रिटायरमेंट के खर्चे ना बनाना
और अगर रिटायरमेंट ऑलरेडी सिक्योर्ड हो तो
फिर हो जाओ रिटायर और वैसे भी शाम की चाय साथ पीना काफी रोमांटिक या नेचर है
स्मार्ट लोगों की क्लीन रिटायरमेंट बाकी सब सेकेंडरी से पहले LIC
Grace has arrived to just fill out the world of Tahuhu and his Saturday. It's a fantastic story. How's she going, Amy? How's little Gracie going? It's a beautiful play. Punches it through the extra cover region. It's a quick outfield. Just a push though, wasn't it?
Come on, Amy, you said she's full of character. Who's she taking after so far?
Probably Leah at the minute. She's a bit cheeky, I think.
If she starts analysing your games in depth, she'll be starting to take after you, I'm sure.
She can't sit still long enough to analyse anything.
Tiny bit of shape in.
Come on, Amy, 100 games for New Zealand in the T20 format. Have you got a favourite?
Oh, that's a big question, man. I've probably got one that sticks in my head for the wrong reasons.
No, just stop going there. Come on, I knew you were going to say that.
Sure. One more step down there from Lanning and she earning real trouble.
you've had a baby, you've been out of the game, you can't move and throw the ball. How dare they?
Pretty much. It's a concrete fence, eh?
Coyote, give us a sense of it. We can hear the wind in your bike there. What's it doing out there?
It's quite blustery actually. It's going across the field.
Gets on top of that, hammers it to mid-wish. She got a lot of a beautiful shot.
It's not sure you see a positive she gets into position so nicely. But, and I know Ponting is her hero. Ponting like, isn't it? What's really exciting this show is because we know that she's not a natural follower of the ball, so ominous signs.
Oh, she's got that too. Clubs it over mid-wicket again. It was asking to be put away and back to back boundaries from Laddie.
Actually, for the play here, dual ball to who I think she's known to who well enough to say I think this one's going to be pitched up if he is, and it's not the stuff line and space to work with to the outside.
Well, this is the matchup that the New Zealanders would like to see. Tahuhu v Lanning. The length for me at the moment just isn't there from Tahuhu. She needs to be hitting the top of off, and unfortunately she hasn't found that line of length against Lanning, and Lanning has been good enough to pounce on those loose balls, and she's already into her innings.
She gets on top of that, gets it through back with point, just a single. So good regard already from the Australian, 1 for 8 only.
तो ले ही लिया अभी इसको इग्नोर करो क्योंकि डैड को जानना है मॉम को तुम्हारी चॉइस पे यकीन है और ये विरासत में पाने के लिए वेट कर रहा है तो क्या ये इन सब के लिए गुड है इट्स आईफोन ऐसी ये सिर्फ गुड नहीं अमेजिंग है
More, but they put a little bit more grass and things into it, and it's got to last the 3 T20, so I think it's going to flatten out as the day goes on.
Just to those pictures, looks like there's been a natural grass covering there as well as those clippings. It looks like a good bit of natural growth there.
A little bit, but the thing with AD Field is that it's all superficial.
Okay, right. Thanks for that. We'll see how it plays over the weekend. They had to change straight away, so there against the wicket, and they gents it into the attack.
I like this from New Zealand. She's only bowled 5 overs in the first 6 overs from 2017 on, but her economy is 5.94, so not a bad move at all.
Oh, Zambish. Chance.
Yeah, definitely. Perkins, great fielder too. If anyone's going to take a sharp catch in the field, you'd probably say she's definitely one of the opportunities. Massive opportunity because Lanning, a little bit of fire early, and I think this is this pitch with a little bit of moisture in it, just holding up fractionally. It's gone too far.
Jeez, pretty good effort.
Like a cross seamer from Jensen. Just sort of held up a little bit.
I think it was that length. It wasn't a half volley. It was around that knee roll length, which is bringing that pitch, and just looked like it held up a touch. So I love how far Perkins is in there at the moment. Cover really putting the pressure on Ben Lanning. It's a real strength area of hers through the covers. But as you said, cross seamer. That one unfortunately not on target for Jensen.
You should see how she goes about her bowling style, playing the power play in comparison to those middle overs which she's used to.
That's the zone. She gets away with one there. Feed that shot at Ben Lanning too often.
And when you're playing on a new pitch, as this one is, I know they've played the practice match on it. I think horizontal shots you can get into innings quite quickly because you can just wait a little bit. So she's pulled well, she's got that one away. It's the front foot shots that I think the Australian team will just be a little bit more mindful of because it may just hold up the friction.
work through cover.
Hayley Jensen's had a bit of an interesting preparation period into this series. She lives in Queensland and she's been down training with a local club side on the Sunshine Coast. So leading into an international series, and she's just down there. And I saw a bit of footage of her that she posted on Instagram, and looked like she had the girls in all sorts. So bowling pretty well, although very different competition for her now today.
That's into that zone again and put away. It was Healy on this occasion. Can't put it near place this calibre.
They've got protection out on that onside boundary, but when you only got the one out there, you've actually got to nail your line also than anything else at the moment for Healy. So Martin is up, trying to put a bit more pressure.
Good match early, 1 for 24, the Australians.
This is the call. Drew McIntyre has been looking well over a decade.
I browsed 8 sites for divorce attorneys today.
I browsed 8 sites for divorce attorneys today.
I love working with you. Me too. Red heart emoji. Blue heart emoji. I hate Lena. Puke emoji. Puke emoji. My home has been 1,000 feet.
I've only walked 598 steps today.
My login for everything is Pauline at hummingfood.com. I heart rated 100, 101, 102, 107.
The White Ferns.
Her last game at Helen Field, not happy memories.
You're going to have to remind me. Memory shot very often in this match, Jason. But there's been more good than bad for Sophie. What happened the last time she was here?
It would be a WBBL final where it was Sammy Jo Johnson went not just boom once, but 4 times. Such a biggest long bombs you'll ever see.
Do you think she would stop yakking about that yet? Sammy Jo, she never got it. Hi, I'm Sammy Jo, absolutely. Oh, that's perfect.
It's a very good length to be bowling. That is exactly where Sophie Devine needs to continue to bowl. And if I was the New Zealanders right now, I'd be saying we need to be bowling 5 out of 6 deliveries to Meg Lanning-Rangi because that is sensational.
Well, I think Sophie Devine will do too. She's got the pace, you know, she's strong, she's athletic, but she can get the ball just a little off the seam as well.
Disappointed to let her off the hook there. Another good piece of bowling. How long since these teams have had the sort of break they've had? We understand we're living through the COVID age and things are different, but they can't have had the sort of break for years that they've had.
Definitely not Australia. New Zealand did, unfortunately, just because of their international program last year. So they had sort of players going off all over the place to get ready for the summer.
Well, that's not the shot she was after, and she's gone. Extraordinary shot from Elisa Healy. And whether that's just held up a bit, we'll have a look. Sophie Devine breaks through in her first over. Massive wicket falls for the Australians.
Huge. Absolutely huge. Elisa Healy probably hasn't faced a lot of the balls as what she's usually used to. They might be just checking here, potentially on the front foot. That is the only thing that's going to save Elisa Healy. Part of that left boot of Sophie Devine's is behind the white line. If it's on, it's a no ball. That's looking good. New Zealand, they'll be happy to look at this replay.
I mentioned earlier that Healy has a strike rate of 148 in the power play, but against Sophie Devine, she's under 100. And there we go, what a great matchup for New Zealand. Elisa Healy must go for 6.
get Rachel Haynes.
I think she's setting herself.
Yeah,
without doubt.
Yep. Keen to get your observations on she's got a few subtle tricks, Sophie Yvonne. Keen to see whether you can pick up something she did with the Healy delivery that might have deceived the Australian opener. That's beautiful play.
Nice sound off the bat. Shot one, Andy Mark. First game of the summer. Rachel Haynes in it, coming out of the middle. That's a beautiful start for her. She doesn't battle a lot in the power play, so it's a great opportunity for Rachel Haynes to have a really big and important innings for Australia.
And when she does, it usually means that Australia's in strife, as they are a little bit here with the 2 early wickets. 3 for 10 against Sri Lanka at the World Cup. Came out in the power play at the wicket.
It's been a good over. Tested leading, got the wicket. Herb Healy, 2 for 26.
New phone. Is it strong enough to withstand the Master Chef? Or the Nature Lover? It's iPhone 11. But wait a minute. Skater Boy. That's not just good, it's amazing.
18 months, so every time they arrive at a new venue in Australia, they bring out the walkabout wicket silk, which is acknowledgement to country, but it's also acknowledgement too of the racism that's still being faced in Australia today.
Oh, she gets away with one there. Do you know where the origins of that, what the origins of the Beefwood Circle were? Who came up with it?
Only Sir Clark from down Warrnambool way, so one of her original ancestors was on the 1868 tour, Indigenous tour over to England. She came up with the silk, and it talks about people gathering within cricket and wickets, so there's got a strong cricket connection as well as land and waters.
Kiwis will know about Rachel Haynes. Average is 34 against the striking at 125. They've seen too much of her over the years.
Likes this ground too. Got her first one-day international 100 at this round against Sri Lanka, and had a great series against them here as well.
Such a versatile player, hasn't she, Alicia? Can be used in sort of any position over her career. She's been a jack of all trades and a very, very valuable player.
Well, she is the perfect person to come out in this situation. She's someone that when the team's in trouble, when Rachel Haynes goes out there, the change room breathes a sigh of relief.
From there.
Tell you what, that's something that New Zealand just need to be wary of too, because they'll know that these two want to get themselves back in, so this is going to be on a lot of opportunities. So in a circle, just squeeze a little bit, try and put a little bit more pressure on the Australians.
It's that pressure of building. Don't give away too many four balls. Just keep making them force the shots. It's such an important part of this game, isn't it?
The Australians will be well aware that after these next two deliveries, they will be able to have 4 outs. So that's when they'll be looking to score off every ball, limit those dot balls. So these next 2 balls are really important. New Zealand will be looking to take 1 more.
Not sure about this one. Pop up. Maybe just go on YouTube next one.
I'm not sure about mine. It looks like maybe I'm missing a few items of clothing, but anyway.
Trying out for a few shows on TV. At least one.
Potato hill.
Good to see you've managed to put something on today.
Good to be back here with you too, and everybody who's tuning in right around the world. Lots to look forward to in the women's game in Australia again. Unusual WBBL coming up, and fantastic competition it's going to be. So it's the end of the power play 2 or 3.
This is the goal. Drew McIntyre has been looking well over the